Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 1 in a best of... Well, I actually don't know what the series is. I assume that it is going to be a best of 3, but then again, it could be a best of 5. Anyways, the game is taking place here on Amazonia. You see Zhou, XiXi spawning as the red Night Elf player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Yumiko spawning as the pink human on the top right. So bottom left, top right on Amazonia. Only 2 spawning locations as this game does get underway. Now, one thing I will note already, today is not Wednesday. I fully understand that. But a lot of you guys out there have been asking for more WarCraft casts, and it's really a lot easier to find StarCraft 2 than WarCraft 3. So, also at the same time, there are no good StarCraft 2 replays out there, and I've been posting up so much Hearthstone as well that I really felt like I wanted to get back to my roots and enjoy a good RTS giving you this series. Once I do find some more StarCraft 2 games out there, I will be posting them up as well. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the bonus WarCraft 3 game that I'm giving to you right now. So far, it looks as though it will be an Archmage versus a Tavern Hero, most likely, coming in from Zhou XiXi. You can tell by the timing, as the Altar of Elders is extremely late. The reason why the Tavern Hero works is that the Tavern Hero does instantly come out of the tavern once you have your Altar of Elders and the timer has gone out. There is no training process, so that gives Night Elf players a little bit of an advantage, as they can go for an Ancient of War first, train up archers much more quickly, and then go for perhaps a Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger is a very strong Night Elf hero because of those black arrows. Black arrows gives the Night Elf a very, very strong army advantage. Those black arrow minions do deal a lot of damage very quickly and can overwhelm a human player who is not expecting it. Especially a human player who, like Yumiko, is trying to creep out a creep camp. You can see that a lot of these low hit point militia will be between 1 to 2 shots before getting taken down. Now, what ends up happening there is that there is going to be a Dark Ranger who will be able to come in and start picking off those units individually. If that Dark Ranger comes in with, say, a handful of skeletal minions, that does make a huge advantage. As you can see right now, the Rogue is taking a fair bit of damage there. You're going to see that the skeletal minion will be popping up. There it goes, pull it back, and now go after a new Rogue, or go after the Apprentice Wizards, as the Apprentice Wizards are extremely, extremely fragile as well. However, the Renegade Wizard now being brought over as the Archer now pulling back. Some very strong micro, I must admit, coming in from these players. Meanwhile, a Footman is coming over here, and a beautiful play by Zhou XiXi moving his Archer over there to get that Lightning Shield down. Now you can see that there are currently two skeletal minions here, but that Dark Ranger has lost a lot of mana already. That Dark Ranger has to be careful. Does not want to run out of mana, will be forced to use a bit of Moonwell. There it goes, picks up a Gloves of Haste, does have those Slippers of Agility. Perhaps will get a little bit more mana and then make a move out once more. However, Yumiko playing that typical human style, going for an expansion. Now, this could be very dangerous, creeping this out with militia against an orange creep camp, especially with a level 2 Dark Ranger who is drastically and very quickly going to be making it to level 3. Not going to be off of this creep camp, but it should be more than halfway there, maybe even 3/4 of the way there. And when you have those level 2 Dark Minions, that is a large amount of damage to be had. The Dark Ranger now going to perhaps slip off to the north, and we'll see how much damage can be done. You can see that there are all of these peasants here, very low hit point units that can take a lot of damage. We should be seeing Yumiko teching defend now. If he doesn't already have it, he will be in trouble, as the archers and skeletal minions do deal so much damage. Here you go. Here's the fight. Zhou XiXi now coming in with a whole bunch of units. You can see that the peasant or the water elementals are not going to be able to get that much damage in. They are rather slow, as the peasants are now making a move around. You can see that the dark minions are on a timed life. Many of them will get taken down. The archmage is already at level 3. As you can see, the Dark Ranger now at level 3 as well. Going to pick up a Manual of Health and a Mantle of Intelligence, as the Dark Minions are still making their way off to the north. Dark Minion there, you can see that it deals 15 to 17 damage, and he's just trying to force the human player inside his base. This is the other way you can play the dark minion strategy. You just constantly send dark minions into your opponent, and you get your hero up to level 5. By getting the hero up to level 5, you get the greater dark minions, and you're that much closer to level 6. Obviously, 5 is closer to 6 than 3. Now, what does that mean for the human player? That means that the human player will have to deal with Charm. Charm is one of those spells that instantaneously takes a unit from your opponent and gives it to you. That is a huge, huge switch, as we are now looking at the Moonwell here, not getting used for some reason, as we're now going into a Tree of Life and a Hunter's Hall in a little bit of a tucked away location. Alright, Water Elemental may get taken down here, down to 62, 430 hit points. I'm not sure if experience was given at all, as we're now going after the Tide Runners. Alright, the Tide Runner is going to be taking a little bit of damage. The Nightcrawler hoping to spread around poison as quickly as possible. Not quite sure why Zhou didn't go after the Nightcrawler first, since the Nightcrawler does deal the most damage. Alright, Panda now coming in, and are we perhaps going to be seen creeping out of this orange creep camp? That would make a lot of sense. At the same time, I'm curious as to Zhou strategy of using dual heroes with a Dark Ranger. The Dark Ranger is at level 3. We are going to see a massive fight now. The Panda is going to be extremely useful. As you can see, Breath of Fire just clearing away and huffing and puffing and blowing all of those footmen back. Those footmen do not like the sign of that Panda. That Panda can deal so much damage so quickly, as Zhou quickly places down a Sentry Ward for a bit of map control. The Sentry Ward is absolutely necessary to see where your opponent is. The Panda is necessary for those, for that Breath of Fire in order to take down all of these guard towers. Now, I do not believe the Dark Ranger is going to be so bold as to try and take down a red creep camp right next to his opponent, but he may be bold enough to go for an orange. Yes, he will be going for an orange creep camp, now trying to go after the enforcers here. You can see that this is a 5-5-5 creep camp, and what is going on? That enforcer is taking a bit of damage, and is it going to get taken down? Yes, it is. Level 4 now on the Dark Ranger with Silence or Siphon Life. I don't really know, as the Renegade Wizard also taken down as well. A Dark Ranger sitting at level 4, very comfortable. You can see that there's going to be a lot of minions here, as an Enforcer now gets taken down as well. There it is, as we now are going to pick up a Tome of Knowledge. No, apparently professional Warcraft players do not like to read. Alright, let's come in here now. You can see the quad towers, 3 guard towers, 1 arcane, and quickly poking that down with a Zeppelin with a whole bunch of footmen and an Archmage now just trying to fly around. You can see that the Tree of Life and Ancient of War are making a move over here, and this is a rather interesting play. The Zeppelin has constantly been spotted so far, as the Water Elemental here could get taken down and give more experience. All right, here we are going to be seeing a drop. Footmen going after that Hunter's Hall. That Hunter's Hall will get taken down, as the Archmage now being brought over. There are Sappers, and the Sappers can focus down or take down a Moonwell very quickly. There it goes, as we now see all of those units going back and jumping back inside. The Zeppelin, very strong harassment, as the Dark Ranger makes her way over, but is not going to be able to shoot down that Zeppelin at all. Alright, what do you do when you have a Zeppelin inside your base? You let your trees do your walking for you, and, I guess walking and talking here, taking down rock golems. And we do see a boulder there, as we are getting level 2 already on the Panda. It looks like another drop could be coming in. Yes, going after those Ancients of Lore, 41/40, upside down on supply, as the Wisp are just trying to run around and hide. This is going to be a very, very bad sign here. The army is just walking back. The Wisp may try to come in for a detonation. There's a Breath of Fire. No healing yet, as the Entangled Goldmine taking a fair bit of damage. We are taking the Tree of Eternity, the Water Elemental not getting picked up, and that may give a little bit more experience, or will give a little bit more experience to the human, or to the Panda, excuse me. Tree of Life sitting at 40/40 here. You can see Ancient of War archers are in position. This Zeppelin perhaps hoping to drop inside the natural expansion here, but the Zeppelin realizes, wait, I cannot do that. There's a Zergling on the map. Wow, there's a Zergling on the map. Did not realize that there was a Zergling in Amazonia. Oh, okay. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going to be happening next. So you can see Tree of Life is off to the north. Zeppelins are right there. Here you go. Footman now trying to take down this entangled gold mine before the Wisp can jump inside. All right, one Footman will get taken down first. There it goes. Skeletal minions are coming back out. Are we going to get a repair? No, we are not. But this is just trading a free health on a building for Footman, and I don't know if I agree with that. That Dark Ranger and Panda sitting at level 4, level 2, respectively. And now what is going to be happening next, as the Goblin Laboratory is still keeping track of where this Goblin Zeppelin could be flying. That Zeppelin now wandering back and forth, maybe trying to make its way over. You can see that there is archers there, and the Zeppelin just gonna drop and take down the Hunter's Hall instead. No, use a Scroll of Town portal to head back home, as he doesn't like where he is at all. Entangled Gold Mine about to be completed. Panda, Dark Ranger now making their way off to the side. Panda will get to level 3 relatively quickly. I don't believe not off of this creep camp. If it is, it will be very close. Dark Ranger wants to is it? Nope, it is not even going to get a skeletal minion off of that. Tome of Agility, Slippers of Agility, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and that Panda will get to level 2 or level 3 here in just a moment, even bringing over some extra buddies to fight with. There's level 3 on the Panda with 5 experience to spare. 2 bases on each side. As the Goblin Laboratory off over to the north, I haven't seen any Goblin Shredders really picked back up, but then again, I'm not really taking a look into the human base. So far, you can see Roar. It looks like it will be bears and archers. Bears extremely powerful, as the Mountain King has arrived. Stormbolt is not going to be as effective, as the Panda does have Rune Bracers. Rejuvenation on the Panda with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and double Scrolls of Healing. That is going to be a rather dangerous army. The problem, though, is that the archers are relatively low in hit points, so they are not going to be that tanky. They're not going to be able to hang around all too much. Let's take a look. We are sitting at level level 4, level 3 now. Are we going to see an engagement go down? The bears are there to counter the Spellbreakers. There's Arcane Towers most likely going to be coming in. There's a Breath of Fire, Drunken Haze as well. Those units are on fire, taking so much damage as the archers are constantly fighting. All right, there's some Abolish Magic, Staff of Teleportation getting into the fight here, as a Goblin Shredder from Zhou also doing a good fair of damage as well. So far, that Goblin Shredder, perhaps it can take down a couple of units of Yumiko. The archers did benefit from a healing or a Scroll of Healing there, as all the peasants are now making their way in. Dark Ranger, how many skeletal minions are out there on the field? I don't really see them. I'm not quite sure why, as we now see level 2 on the Mountain King, level 3 on the Panda. We could perhaps see another Scroll of Healing here in just a moment. You can see that the Dark Minions are pushing back more units. You can see a whole bunch of peasants right there, as the peasants may fall. All right, bears are still pushing their way off to the north. Peasant after peasant is falling here. We're not quite sure why the peasants are even in this fight, as they're going to get taken down very easily. Goblin Shredder of XiXi just still pushing in. Beautifully timed Staff of Preservation, I believe, to send that unit all the way back home, deny the experience, as the shot was in mid-flight. Bears still alive here. Goblin Shredder of Yumiko now going to get focused down, picked up as well, as XiXi needs to figure out what to do with these Druids of the Claw. Is he going to be able to save another Druid of the Claw, just like he saved that one lone? Oh gosh, no Staff of Preservation. Perhaps it was still on cooldown. Half a second as that Mountain King gets his bear, and now the Zeppelin is picking up a whole bunch of low hit point units. The problem now is that the majority of the team is all in mortar teams and low hit point units. They need to figure out what they're going to be doing next. Dark Ranger already sitting at level 5. Panda sitting at level 4 now. With those Rune Bracers, perhaps going to pick up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, picks up a Scroll of Healing once more. We are sitting at 62 over 70 as the Bears here get some rejuvenation and now going to heal themselves up and try to get back into full. So you can see that Druid of the Claw going to really benefit from that rejuvenation. Bears healing very, very quickly, and then going to be going back into bear form in just a moment. 5 breakers, 3 mortar teams, and only 1 sorceress. A couple of priests hanging out in the back versus a Dryads Panda. Where's the rest of the army? Okay, off over here. The Dark Ranger may actually try to engage this creep camp. even though it is going to be a rather difficult fight here. And let's see, the Dark Ranger does have a Squirrel Town portal, so she will be able to get back in time. Enforcers, Renegade Wizard, and I gotta say, Zhou XiXi is just doing a much better job creeping. By creeping Mount much more effectively. Where is that Dark Ranger going? The Dark Ranger, seeing that level 5, realizes, hey, I can't get experience. Might as well give it all to the Panda. Two level 5 heroes. Very strong, as we are now looking at guard towers being placed off to the north here. All right, what's going to be happening? The Dark Ranger needs to get back to the rest of her army. Panda sitting at level 4. True Shot aura needs to be picked up by that Dark Ranger. Come on, pick it up. And the Tome of Agility. Two very strong items, as we now may see a Squirrel Town portal heading back home. Altar of Elders already taken down. 69 over 70 supply. It looks like a Moonwell may be coming in next. There's a Squirrel Town portal landing right there, and there is the push. Abolish magic onto water elementals would have been free experience, but no, does not go for it, as the mortar teams have such long range that you do not want to chase them. I gotta say, this is going to be a very close fight. Level 4, level 5 versus a level 4, level 3, or level 2. Wow, never mind. Hero advantage, army advantage, counter advantage all belongs to Zhou XiXi. It would be a true tragic shame if Zhou XiXi lost this game right now, as he has the right counter units to really deal with his opponent. We are now looking at 76 over 80. Dryads coming in. There's a Stormbolt that hardly did any damage whatsoever. You saw that there. Mountain King not able to do very much at all. All right, let's see. Water Elemental has been dropped. Mortar teams are going to be causing problems. There is some slow poison now onto those units as the mortar teams try to land in some extra shots. Another Moonwell down. 76 over 60. No more ways of training any more units, as the mortar team's now going after the Tree of Eternity. It looks like Zhou XiXi is waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Leading in with that Panda with Rune Bracers is perhaps the smartest call, as you're going to see that the Panda is still running in. Look at that. It barely even does 50 damage. All right, so that Stormbolt doesn't even do 50 damage there. Easy way to drain mana, so to speak. I'll take 50 points of damage to make you lose 75 mana. Yeah, I do that pretty much all game, especially against a Mountain King. That Mountain King not that strong yet. And we're looking at perhaps the Dryads, Archers, and Dark Ranger now looking to do a little bit of a push to the forward. We now see 5 mortar teams. That mortar combat can deal so much damage. Oh, Dryad, is it going to fall? No, as the Tree of Eternity now getting Nature's Blessing, which will give additional armor. It looks like Zhou XiXi is just playing this overly cautious, though. You can take a look at Ogre Mauler taking the Tree of Eternity taking a lot of damage. There it goes. The rest of the units need to heal this back up, and now you can have it. The mortar teams will be engaging against all of these units here. Bear is now trying to come in. So far, a lot of damage to be had. The Dark Ranger could try to go after the Mountain King first. Yumiko, mortar teams all going in the back. You can see the Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. The Panda has also a Potion of Healing. Could do another Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire combination. 1-2 punch here. Is he going to be doing that? Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, dealing so much damage. Level 5 on the Panda, as the level 5 Panda is pretty much not going to fall at any stage in the game. Panda is now sitting at 107 mana. May get off another Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Are we going to be seeing that? There's the Drunken Haze. There's the Breath of Fire hitting the towers as well. Guard towers all taking a lot of damage here. A very strong push. Dark Ranger is in position. Are we going to see a Staff of Preservation? Spellbreaker now stolen as well, and that is going to be giving the Dark Ranger a huge advantage. Mountain King falls at level 2, and Yumiko has to wave the GG. That game wasn't even close, as Zhou XiXi took his time into that last fight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1.